picture my daddy sitting in his chair, completely hidden behind his newspaper, and that newspaper starting to tremble the instant I began raking my bow across those strings. As far as I was concerned, what we were being taught in school paled in comparison to the education Patty and I got at home. Our mom was a wonderful homemaker, and she taught us everything from cooking and sewing to the proper way to clean a house and keep it clean. I enjoyed those skills then, and I enjoy them now. I'm a natural-born nester. I designed and decorated every square inch of my home at Shambhala, and I am as excited about finding a unique piece of furniture or a table runner at a thrift store as some women get about finding designer shoes and clothes, which were once such a major part of my life and career. We learned a lot about love at home, too, and integrity, responsibility, and morals, and keeping our word. Our parents weren't overly affectionate, but we never doubted that they loved us to the core of their souls. We didn't have a car or even indoor plumbing. I was too small to navigate the dimensions of our outhouse seat, so Mom kept a little white porcelain potty for me, one that had belonged to my grandmother, trimmed with gold flowers behind the kitchen door. Our parents worked very hard for what we did have, and we learned to earn our way through life with no sense of entitlement. We were aware that they couldn't afford to give us everything the other kids had, but we never felt deprived or inferior or frightened because of it, since they never discussed money in front of us or made their burden ours. Patty and I were expected to be well-spoken, to always be clean and presentable, to be well-mannered and respectful, to follow the relatively strict house rules, and to be good girls who attended Lake Harriet Lutheran Church and Sunday school every single week. We happily complied. Patty, the brave one, because she wanted to, and me because I was so timid that I wasn't about to cause trouble. In fact, I was so obedient that Patty still occasionally teases me about it. Mom told us when we were very, very young that if we got home from school before she came home from work, we were to write her a note telling her exactly where we were and what we were doing. Mom apparently arrived home from work one day to find a note taped to the front door. Dear Mom, I just finished unlocking the door and I'm inside the house. Love, Tips. I don't remember it, but all things considered, it wouldn't surprise me. Anything to follow orders and make Mom and Daddy happy. And the thought of rebelling never occurred to me. I was perfectly content to do just whatever it took not to disappoint my parents, and then immerse myself in the privacy of my room to read and listen to music on my second-hand record player. When I was 4 or 5 years old, my favorite song was When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain, sung by Kate Smith, a singer with a beautiful, rich contralto voice. I listened to it over and over again, quietly singing along until I'd learned every word and every note. And one night, my parents had a few friends over for dinner, and I made a spontaneous decision to entertain them. They were sitting at a table when I made a sudden, dramatic entrance into the dining room and burst out with, When the Moon Comes Over the Mountain, complete with hand gestures and arms spread wide open, appropriate for my solo concert debut. I'm sure I was intending that some combination of that song and my performance would send my small audience into rapt, spellbound awe. Instead, it sent them into gales of laughter. This was apparently the most hysterical thing they had ever seen, and I, of course, ran to my room in tears, devastated and utterly mortified. The scar it left was small but deep. It's about 82 years later, and to this day, I could no more sing alone in front of other people than I could levitate and fly out the window. Logically, I get it. I'm not sure I could keep a straight face either if a 4-year-old child suddenly made an entrance at a dinner party and began belting out a romantic ballad at the top of her little lungs. Emotionally, I'm still working at it. I've even taken private voice lessons and been